Today, we are going over my predictions for the new Valorant Agent, aka nicknamed Smokedancer in Riot Dev Communications. So we will be going over my predictions that I have based on things I've seen online from other sources, in-game hints, and also just generally what I hope it will be like and my ideas for an agent like this. Okay, so these are my predictions for Smokedancer. Okay, so here's what we know about Smokedancer, and this is from online sources, so technically I don't know it, but I guess there's some data miners or something, and then they, I don't know, sell their information. I don't know, but information I found online that we technically know from leaks. So Smokedancer is a pseudonym used by devs to reference this agent in, I guess, the code. Or the role will be a controller. The color scheme will be pinks, including pink smoke. And Riot's final battle pass cards in each act before a new agent or map are usually related to the new release. So, card analysis, because there is a similar card in this battle pass. So first of all, we have multiple small butterflies with light, it looks like. So I'm also wondering if like light or vision is going to somehow be related to this new agent. We have one main butterfly, which is dark purple. So this tells me that like the central idea is a butterfly. This is probably a very purpley pink color scheme. Accent colors, it's not just pink. There's like a little blue in there. There's like a neon pink, some purples, yellows. So I'm wondering if we're going to get like a lot of colors or maybe a version of the agent, like an alt version. And then the card title is Chrysalis, which is specifically for butterflies. Like cocoons are for moths. Chrysalis specifically for butterflies only. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be some kind of butterfly-based agent. It could be more of a garden theme, and I'll get on why I think that in a second. But for this video, I'm going to go on the course of following a butterfly agent, because I think that would be really cute. And also, it's kind of the main theme that I'm getting from this card. I will say in this battle pass, there are little buddies that are also like kind of nature and flower themed, so it could be kind of like a garden type agent instead of specifically butterflies, but I don't know as much that these for sure have to do with this new agent. That could just be like a loose interpretation on my end, so I am going to stick with the butterfly kind of theme, but I'm also going to take the hint from the little Hawaiian bear that maybe we have a new place of origin. So, first of all, what is the smoke dance? Because the agent is nicknamed Smokedancer, right? So, I looked it up to see if smoke dance is a real thing anywhere, and it turns out that it actually is. The Iroquois, like Native Americans, have this, I guess it's a traditional dance called smoke dance. So, we're going to watch that really quickly. It's really loud, but it's pretty short. But you can see it's like a real thing done by Native Americans, and this will come into my predictions in just a second. So my very basic predictions include gender, which I think is probably going to be female just because the last release ISO was male, and they usually do a male-female. There's a couple broken up patterns there, but the last release was male, so I'm thinking it will probably be female. And then also 3 of the 5 controllers right now are male, so I just think like they're probably gonna add a female if it's up to me. That, and we know that the agent has a pink color scheme, and usually, especially in gaming, that's really highly associated with women. So I think most likely it's gonna be a girl. In terms of the agent's name, I kind of had to go out on a limb for this one. Agents' names are sometimes related to their powers, somewhat, like Viper has toxins, Harbor uses water, Astra has astral-themed util. But this isn't always true, or like Brimstone or Breach. Like, they're much more loosely related, if even related. But it's the only hint I have, because other than that, it could be anything. So I tried to think of ideas that were, like, butterfly-themed, as I think the agent will be. So some of my, like, top ideas include Monarch, Morph, or like Morpha, as in metamorphosis, Cam, as in camouflage, which I think would be a really good one, Meta, as in metamorphosis, or Flutter, which I found out is the name of a group of butterflies, and I also just think that would be like a cute name. Possible origins, honestly, I don't know. I'm going to say she because I think she's going to be female. She could be from anywhere. The Hawaiian bear makes me think maybe Hawaii, and then Smokedance could be a looser reference to the fire poi dance that they do in Hawaii, you know, like the baton twirling with fire. But also could be Native American because of the other connections with nature in the Battle Pass, and also that smoke dance is something from Iroquois Confederacy tradition. So those are just my ideas, but honestly, like, the agent could be from anywhere. I'm not 100% sure. This is just my guess based on what I do have to work off of. So these are my potential ideas for util. Again, I don't really have a reason to think that any of these things are the util. I just kind of thought about what current controllers have that make them really unique, and also what is specific to every controller, and tried to kind of come up with a couple ideas that I thought would make good util for this agent. There's like almost 0% chance that they're all correct, but I'm hoping I get like lucky and one or two of them are pretty similar. Either way, I think these are really cool ideas, and even if they don't end up being the actual util, I don't know, maybe they'll be interesting enough to be in the game another time, you know? So the first thing I noticed is that all controllers have some kind of placeable orb of smoke. So for Smokedancer, I came up with a smoke util called Flutter, assuming Flutter isn't actually the name of the agent, because that's a possibility I put too. And this is like a flurry of pink smoke, but it's got like butterflies in the smoke, if that makes sense. Like, it's more of like a flurry of butterflies is swirling up this pink dust kind of a thing. I think similar visibility to like a brim smoke, and maybe the butterflies bite when you enter, so not quite like a viper continually bringing your health down, but like a one-time, like, small damage, like 15 off or something like that. Or maybe 15 off every few seconds you stay in it. Like, somehow the butterflies do something for the smoke, I think would be really interesting. Number 2 is most controllers have some kind of wall or team buff, like a stim or blind, that helps the rest of the team to take a site, either by breaking it up or increasing the mobility of their own team or decreasing the mobility of the other team. So what I came up with for this agent is a util called Camouflage. So I'm not sure exactly how it would work, but either for herself or the whole team, like potentially a stim that they walk through or a wall that you'd have to look through, some kind of temporary invisibility. So for the stim, that's pretty easy. They'd essentially all have almost like a Yoru ult type of invisibility, but for only a few seconds, like maybe 5-6 seconds, not very long, but enough to clear a couple corners. Or if it were a wall, I was thinking a wall that goes up that kind of mirrors exactly what site would look like if they weren't on it at all. So almost like a default image of the rest of site, if that makes sense at all. So you just can't see the enemies while the wall is up. Obviously, it wouldn't last forever. Lastly, all of the controllers have a little bit of different util for this last section, but I noticed that all of them have to deal with playing from a distance. So either being able to TP away, or having Molly lineups, or Astras have a thing to like suck people off of the bomb, you know? All of them have to do with playing in a lineup and keeping yourself alive for that smoke. So I came up with a util called Uplift, which is going to be like a throwable or placeable, or maybe you drive the butterfly/bug to the spike, I'm not really sure. And then either like a butterfly or a ladybug, depending if it's more butterfly or garden themed, would like lift the enemy up. Any one enemy in its radius would lift it up into the sky and like drop them for a little bit of damage, or however much damage you get from fall damage in the game. And then for the ult, I noticed that controller ults are all about sight. They're very large in terms of map space, and they're either about keeping enemies off of sight or denying a defuse/plant. So I came up with a ult called Kaleidoscope, which also, fun fact, is one of the names for a group of butterflies, I think it was called. I don't know, I was looking at butterfly facts yesterday. But basically, as long as this ult lasts, any enemy within the area, typically the size of sight, I'm thinking like the size of a Viper ult-ish, or like a KJ ult. So any enemy within that area will have pink-hued fractured vision, like they're looking through a kaleidoscope. So think like a stun and a mild flash combined. And then also Shadow Dancer could like transform into a prettier butterfly. You know what I mean? Like for this ult, have maybe bigger wings if she has wings, or brighter colors, I think would be really, really pretty. Oh, these are some example images. So for Flutter, which is the smoke, also if the agent is named Flutter, I think we would just call it like Swarm or something. But for Flutter, which is the smoke, it's like that, like a very pink smoke, and even more butterflies than I was able to put in here as like part of the smoke. So not super detailed butterflies, but like somewhat undetailed, tons of butterflies like flying through the smoke in the pattern, almost like they're making up the smoke. For Uplift, which is the one where they lift the player off of usually Spike, but I guess it could be anything. This is an example picture of that. I was thinking like a butterfly would just come in and it literally just like yoink you and bring you up a bit enough to have some fall damage. And then for the ult, you can see in the rightmost image, I was thinking a similar color to that and like similar vision blur, but more fractured. So like repeating tiles or frames of your central image. So like you should either have multiple crosshairs on your screen, or your crosshair should not be centered on your screen anymore. Some kind of a very like fractal image, like a real kaleidoscope, if you guys have ever used those. These are potential outfits. I did like a mood board because I didn't want to spend like 6 hours trying to draw this agent. But you can see, I think the color scheme is going to be really similar to this like top left cartoony character. I think the outfit vibe, specifically the skirt and maybe like the headpiece, would be similar to this top middle character here. I don't think she'd have a sword or anything like that. And I kind of doubt she would actually have wings. At least not all the time. Probably not like in her ult, not real wings anyway. Because she is named Shadow Dancer, I would think maybe some kind of dancing outfit, like the classic shorter bottoms, longer arms, maybe some kind of outfit type of wing instead of like real wings, at least not when not in her ult. For that, I think her personality would be very bubbly, very like, I don't even know I'm killing anyone. I'm friends with all the butterflies. So I put this kind of like happy looking anime character. I don't even know who that is, but for bottom left corner, bottom right, yes, I took inspiration from Winx Club. I think this would be like a good ult outfit, like maybe the dance type of wings turn into real wings and her outfit gets a little sparklier, even more flashy actually than what's in this image. And of course, don't ask me how literally any of this could possibly relate to origins of Native American or Hawaiian, because the answer is I don't know. Maybe the dance outfit would be more reminiscent of those cultures, if that's even where she's from. I don't know. A lot of this is based on assumptions I already made. It's like I'm making these assumptions about the outfit based on my own assumption that she's going to be a girl. So it could go either direction. Or who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong. I probably am.
Be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded ice.